So this is my 2012 summer reading list. A lot of these books are really great, easy books that you could read by the pool or at the beach or just lounging outside in the sun, where you're kind of just having a lazy day. They are teen books and they're also historical fiction books. And there's probably a few surprises in there of like, Melissa, really? You haven't read those books yet? What is wrong with you? So let's just get into it. And the first one is Delirium. I've heard so much good things about this book on YouTube and elsewhere. I've heard the ending kind of may not go the way that most people want it to go, but I still want to read it, so that is on my list. The second book is A Gossip Girl. I've never actually really seen the shows or read the books, so I thought I'm one of those people that I like to read all the books before I see the show, so I thought I'd start with that one. Although I haven't done that with Pretty Little Liars, because I've read the first 4 books of the Pretty Little Liars, and I've watched all of the shows. So, yeah. The next one is called Just Jane, a daughter of England caught in the struggle of the American Revolution. And I thought this one sounded really interesting because I personally love history, and I really love this era. I actually wrote my thesis paper on women in the Revolution and what they went through, so I thought this book sounded really good, and it has some great reviews on it. Then this was off of one of my friends' reading lists on Goodreads.com. It's a great website you can go to. You can see what your friends are reading, what other people are reading, give books reviews, let your friends know that they would, recommend different books to your friends and things like that. And this is one that I saw and it sounded interesting. It's called Something Borrowed and is all about a woman trying to get married. This next one is called Before Green Gables. So one of my favorite authors of all time is Lucy Maud Montgomery, who wrote the Anne of Green Gables series and other books, Story Girl and Avonlea. Those are all just great books. I've read almost all of her books. They're just awesome. But this is another writer's interpretation of what life for Anne was like before she went to Green Gables. So what was it like when she was in the orphanage and at other people's homes. So I thought that sounded good. Another series that I've heard that has been super popular is the Divergent series, so I put the first book on my list. The next 4 books on my list are actually continuation of the series that I have been reading, which is the House of Night series. And so I just finished a couple weeks ago book 5, so I have books 6 through 9 on my reading list. Those usually actually take me about, if I really sit down and read them, 2 days, day and a half, 2 days. And I love those books because they're easy read. I love the characters. What I really don't like is that the books leave you with a cliffhanger, which is a good thing for the writer because then it makes you want to get the next book right away. But as a reader, you're like, you have to have all of them. So I have the rest of those on here. And then the last 2 books will seem like a complete and utter surprise, and you will be wondering, again, Melissa, where have you been? And it is Harry Potter number 3 and 4. I have read the first 2. I have seen all of the movies, but I have not read all the books. And this is why. And you will understand. So when the Harry Potter books came out, I was working for a bookstore, and we had to do all these big promotions for them, and everyone was like, you've got to read this, you've got to read this, you've got to read this. And I'm kind of one of those people that I don't usually jump on the bandwagon when it comes to movies and books and things like that right away. It's usually like 2 or 3 years in, and I was just so over the whole Harry Potter thing, being bombarded with it all the time at work, so I didn't want to read the books. And then I took a class. It was actually a children's literature class in college, and we had to read for an assignment the first 2 books, and so I read those. And I really liked it. And I love the movies. I've seen all the movies. Like, I had no problem seeing the movies or whatever. There was something about the books and the people at the time that it irked me. But I've gotten over that, and I love the movies, and I think they're magical and whimsical, and I love the books. The first two were great. So I've decided that I'm going to read the next, or the rest of the series, and what made me decide that was that I have a Kindle, and I also have Amazon Prime, which allows you to have free shipping on certain things, and free streaming video, and some other perks. But the main perk that made me decide about this was that they are putting all the Harry Potter books in the Kindle lending library. So I get one free book, or one lent book a month. And so my books for the next 2 months, for July and August, will be the next 2 Harry Potter books. And so that's why they're on this list. And yeah. So if you want to see a complete list of my summer reading list, I will have a link to my Goodreads page, and I have actually a list called Summer 2012 Reading List, where you can look at all the books and look at their reviews and what they're about, and see if it's something that you might be interested. Also, if you go to Goodreads and you really want to know what else I'm reading and what my reviews are on these things, because I doubt I'm going to do a video review on all of these, then please, friend me on there so that we can talk about books and things like that. And if there are any reviews on here that you really, really want to hear my review on, just let me know in the comments below, or email me, or send me a message on Goodreads. So I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, and what other books? I need to know after I get my summer reading list done, what should I read in the fall? So please let me know in the comments below what books I should be reading for the fall. I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.